Mm, 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 mm. A brain dead woman. Her case raises new abortion law questions.
What?
This is gonna wanna make y'all cry. You gonna feel really bad. Mm. Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by to see me today. I sure do appreciate it. I really do. Today, I have a few videos about a young lady named Adriana Smith. I think that's what they say her name is. She is brain dead. And she's pregnant with a boy, I think. She also has one other child, a son. I'm going to let the people tell y'all the story, what happened. What I want y'all to do is tell me, how do y'all feel about this? It's going to hurt some of y'all heart. It's sad. It really is. But you know, y'all have children, grown children. What if this was your child? How would you feel? Would you be mad? Would you be angry? Would you want to keep the baby? What would you do? Be honest with yourself down there in the comment section, because we got a lot of people who are pissed off at Georgia. This is going on in Georgia, my state where I live. I can't say that I'm very mad about it, because I understand some of the reasons. And I want y'all to let me know if you understand some of the reasons. Just a little bit, okay? Let me get ready to play this. I want to thank you guys for buying my soap and the herbal salve and the perfume balm. Y'all are wonderful people. You really are. And I truly appreciate everything, every order that y'all buy. All right? Thank you so very much. Let me move right on with this video. Here we go. Brain dead woman's case raises new abortion law questions. I want to know, do y'all have questions too? Put it on down there in the comment section. Watch.
It started with headaches. April Newkirk says her 30-year-old daughter, Adriana Smith, was pregnant with her second child when something started to go terribly wrong.
They did a CT scan and she had blood clots all in her head.
Speaking to NBC affiliate WXIA, Newkirk says soon after that, Adriana was declared brain dead by Emory doctors. That was back in February, but she's still in the hospital, Newkirk says, on life support. The doctors haven't withdrawn, because that would mean the unborn fetus Adriana still carries would also die, a potential violation of Georgia's strict abortion law.
It's torture for me. I come here and I see my daughter breathing by the ventilator, but she's not there.
The law bans most abortions after roughly 6 weeks of pregnancy, with narrow exceptions. Emory says it doesn't comment on patient cases, but the hospital uses, quote, individualized treatment recommendations in compliance with Georgia's abortion laws. It's all raising fresh questions about the reach of the law. Republican State Senator Marty Harbin says he still supports it.
We have already determined that she does not have life, but yet the baby does have life.
The current plan, Newkirk says, is to keep Adriana alive until doctors can deliver the baby safely via C-section. For now, her mother waits.
I'm not saying that we would have chose to terminate her pregnancy. What I'm saying is we should have had a choice.
Laura Jarrett, NBC News.
I understand. The mother said we should have had a choice. They didn't even ask us. They just did this on their own. They could have at least given us the courtesy and asked us if this is what we wanted to do. I agree with her on that. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But Georgia law, they said, abortion is illegal in Georgia past 6 weeks. Is that when the heart beats? I don't know. Put it on down there. But I want to say this, y'all. Okay? Don't get mad. Don't get angry. What would her daughter want, though? What would the daughter want? Me, myself, as a mother, and she's a mother already, if they could save my baby, I'm already gone to glory, okay? I'm just laying there, like they said, in the bed. I'm a vessel. I'm already gone to glory, wherever the hell that is for her, okay? But me, myself, because I die, I don't want my baby to die. I don't. I want my little son that I already have to have a sibling, someone he can play with, someone he can grow up with, someone else in his life. That's my blood, okay? I'm not talking about the mother, the sister, the father, the cousins. Another sibling. That's what I would want, okay? I'm not saying that the parents don't have the right. If they don't want the child, just maybe, I'm just saying, put the baby up for adoption or give it to another family member. If the mother herself, we don't know, probably could have health problems or can't afford to keep 2 children. Maybe that's it. Or give it to the fathers, okay? She had a fiance. Maybe he wants the baby. Maybe that's who's going to take the baby is the fiance. Maybe so. I'm pretty sure he's sad and upset. Everybody's sad and upset. And they hate to see her in that state with tubes all up in her nose and mouth and everywhere. I understand that. I'm not cruel and crucial, but abortion is cruel and crucial to the fetus. A lot of people don't think so. They really don't. I'm trying to pull up this video I want y'all to look at. It says abortion doctor leaves Congress speechless. Speechless. Tell me, do you think that this is gross? Very gross as hell.
Tino, we'll begin with you. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee. I only have 5 minutes, so I'm going to get right to it. Second trimester D&E abortions performed between roughly 14 and 24 weeks of gestation. Your patient today is 17 years old. She's 22 weeks pregnant. Her baby is the length of your hand plus a couple of inches. And she's been feeling her baby kick for the last several weeks, but she's asleep on an operating room table. You walk into that operating room scrubbed and gowned, and after removing laminaria, you introduce a suction catheter into the uterus. This is a 14 French suction catheter. If she were 12 weeks pregnant or less, basically the width of your hand or smaller, you could basically do the entire procedure with this. But babies this big don't fit through catheters this size. After suctioning the amniotic fluid out from around the baby, you introduce an instrument called a Sofer clamp. It's about 13 inches long. It's made of stainless steel. The business end of this clamp is about 2.5 inches long and a half-inch wide. There are rows of sharp teeth. This is a grasping instrument. When it gets a hold of something, it does not let go. A D&E procedure is a blind abortion, so picture yourself introducing this and grabbing anything you can blindly and pull, and I do mean hard, and out pops a leg about that big, which you put down on the table next to you. Reach in again, and pull out an arm about the same length, which you put down on the table next to you. And use this instrument again and again to tear out the spine, the intestines, the heart and lungs. Head on the baby that size is about the size of a large plum. Can't see it, but you pretty good idea you've got it if you've got your instrument around something and your fingers are spread about as far as they go. You know you did it right if you crush down on the instrument and white material runs out of the cervix. That was the baby's brains. Then you could pull out skull pieces. And you have a day like I had a lot of times. Sometimes a little face comes back and stares back at you. Congratulations. You just successfully performed a second trimester D&E abortion. You just affirmed her right to choose.
Did you see the people's faces as they were watching him? Do you think that's going to stop some women from getting abortions? Do you? Breaking the baby up in pieces because the baby is too big to come through that little tube. Break off the legs, break off the arms, break off the head, squeeze the brain. I mean, just pulling the baby out. Baby has a heartbeat. You think that fetus don't feel that? You think all the baby is floating around in the belly, the baby don't feel pain? It has nerves, don't it? It's floating around in there for months. But you don't think, you don't have no type of feelings. You feel the baby kicking, some of y'all, and moving around. And you think that's okay? Because you said you made a mistake, even though some women get abortions over and over and over again. That's not a mistake, y'all. That's a fool right there, okay? That's an ungodly person. That's a person who cannot keep their legs closed, like I said. Listen, a lot of people are angry about this. They angry, very angry.
So they're keeping a pregnant woman alive in Georgia who's brain dead because she's 20 weeks pregnant, and they said that they can't take her off life support because that would be an abortion. And it would be one thing if that's what she said her wish was, or her family's wish even, but it's against her family's wishes. Let me say that again. They are keeping a pregnant woman who was dead alive for her fetus. So she's literally just an incubator now, while her older son watches her and thinks that she's just sleeping. And if that doesn't make you throw up, then you, my friend, are the one who is dead inside. When will you stand up and speak out against these abortion bans? When it affects you? It's so sick. So sick.
So, just kill the baby, y'all? Put it on down, I want to know. Kill the baby? Don't give a damn about the baby. We don't know what the mama want. Maybe she wanted her child. We don't know. Or maybe she didn't. So, just get rid of the baby. You doctors don't have a right to do that. You don't have a right. You didn't give the father a chance, the father of the baby, or the grandma. Y'all just want to do what y'all want to do. Just do what you want to do. Forget what the family wants. I ain't wrong, y'all. Some people think it's racist. But let me tell you this first, y'all, before I play this next video. I feel God gives surgeons and doctors the gift of healing through his hands. That's what I feel. The gift of healing. A lot of y'all would be dead right now if it wasn't for those hands. Those surgeon hands, those smart hands. Whenever they save your life, that is the gift of healing through God. Well, that's what I think, okay? You can think what you want to think. So how do you know this right here is not the gift of healing? Just let her hang on just a little bit longer. They're not trying to keep her alive. They're not, okay? They know she's dead. They're just keeping her bodily functions. Keep moving so she can have the baby. So they can do a C-section. Are they going to hell for that? I don't know. You let me know what you think down in the comment section. Let me play this video. But they're trying to make this a racist thing also. Listen to this young lady. Watch.
People need to stop saying that Adriana Smith is alive. She's not. She's brain dead. But people need to also speak about how she passed away. She passed away due to medical negligence, which happens to a lot of black women in healthcare. She visited the hospital in February with a headache got sent home with medicine. Hours later, she's brain dead. How is the hospital not being held liable for that? All they had to do was order a CT or MRI scan and they could have seen her blood clots. She could have been alive today. But due to laziness and medical professionals not taking her complaint serious, now she doesn't have brain activity and machines have to keep her breathing. And they're not even letting the family grieve. They won't even let the family decide if they want to pull the plug or not because the hospital is forcing her to be an incubator to a baby that's more than likely going to be born with complications. Mind you, the hospital is impeding this bill on this family. They're expecting the family to foot the bill for what the hospital's doing. And why are they doing this to Adriana? Because of the Georgia heartbeat law. That doesn't even apply to Adriana's case per the Attorney General. Per the Attorney General, as it pertains to pregnant women who are declared brain dead, nowhere in the Georgia heartbeat law does it say that you have to keep her alive to keep the baby alive. That's not an abortion if she passes away and the baby passes away with her. Which is what should have happened and what needs to happen. This is beyond selfish. The disparities that Black women deal with in the healthcare system needs to be spoken about. Black women continuously get treated as guinea pigs in experiments, and we're not taken serious when we say that we feel something. Because I promise you, if this baby's somehow born viable and without complications, this will continue to happen. They will say that this is a success story, and before you know it, body autonomy is just going to continue to diminish and diminish because the family can't even decide what to do with their body because the hospital won't allow it. I pray that the family gets the opportunity to sue the pants off of every person that is forcing their loved one to stay alive even though they're not alive. This is disgusting.
Stop making everything about blacks, a racial thing. This can happen to any woman, okay? She went into the hospital complaining about a headache, okay? It ain't just happening to black women. I know a couple of people of different race happen to. Go to the hospital, hell, it happened to me too. Complain about something, then they send you home, giving you pills or something to help the pain. Drugs, whatever, you know. Not amoxicillin. What's that stuff, you know, Percocet, hydrocodone. They give you the drugs, send you home. Then you have to end up going back to the hospital because it's worse than what they thought. Then they have to keep you and then do surgery. That's happened to a lot of people. It ain't just happening to black people, all right? So stop saying that. Not a racist thing. It's not. Let me get this right. She said they running up a hospital bill on purpose. They doing that on purpose, y'all. They doing that on purpose to make money. Somebody's going to be stuck with that hospital bill. They're going to be stuck. Is it going to be the parents? Is it going to be the fiance? Not fiance because he's not married to her. So it might just be the parents. I don't know if they signing papers or what. I don't know. But since the doctor kept it, you know, did it on their own without asking, I don't see how they can charge someone. The mother, baby's mother, grandmother, or the Adriana, I can't even speak, mother, has the right not to pay because they didn't ask her. Could they do that to her daughter? Okay? And then she said something about the test. They don't even know. Well, she didn't say anything about the test, but she did say that they don't know if something's going to be wrong with the baby or not, you know. They don't know. What if something's wrong with the baby? What if the baby have problems when it comes out? What if the baby is deformed? What if the baby has something wrong with its brain? Well, they do those type of tests, y'all. They know that. They know that before the baby is born, if the baby's going to have any type of complications. I don't think they would let the baby be born with complications like that, you know. That's why some mothers have tests right now, because some of y'all old as hell having babies. No, you shouldn't be having babies at 50, 55, 60. So they run a test to make sure that the baby's okay. So you don't think these doctors have not done that? You don't. Moving right along. People still angry. The previous woman said Georgia law didn't say you had to keep her alive. Law doesn't say you had to keep her alive because the baby's heart is beating. Law did not say that. So why is Georgia doing that? The law didn't say that. The law didn't say they couldn't either. So, you know, hey, that's what I'm going to say about that. Watch this video right here. Parents have no rights these days. None.
So this is Adriana Smith. She started getting bad headaches. And she knew that something was wrong, in part because she's a registered nurse, that these weren't like normal headaches, so she went to the hospital. Hospital ran a bunch of tests, although they did not run a CAT scan. And then they sent her home, despite her and her fiance saying, like, I think you should keep her, I think something's wrong. And the next morning, her fiance found her struggling to breathe and gurgling. Went back to the hospital where they did finally run a CAT scan and found that she had blood clots in her brain. And at that point, there was nothing they could do about it, and they declared her brain dead. That is horrible for her family to have to deal with, to have to make the decision to take her off of life support, to plan her funeral, etc. Only that's not what happened. She was declared brain dead 3 months ago and is still on a ventilator and still being kept alive, not because her family said, we want to keep her alive, but because she's pregnant and she lives in Georgia, and there's a heartbeat law, an anti-abortion heartbeat law that makes it so they cannot take her off of life support. Adriana Smith is essentially being kept alive as an incubator. And her family says it's not like they automatically would have just pulled the plug. They wanted to weigh the options, to talk to medical professionals, to make a decision. But something doctors can't tell them is if this baby is even viable. If what happened to her affected the child. Is the child blind? Will the child be able to walk? None of that has been discussed. No one can confirm that. And none of these options have been given to her family. They're just like, nope, we're keeping her alive. And oh yeah, by the way, every day she's in the hospital on life support, she's running up a bill that they're going to have to pay for. Her mother said, every day I go and visit my daughter and I watch a machine make her chest rise and fall knowing she's not there. She's gone. My daughter is gone. And if you're a spiritual person and believe in the idea of a soul, that our bodies are simply vessels, she's trapped inside of hers, not allowed to move on because of a law that's supposed to protect life, a life that they don't even know would be viable. And her family now has to raise her child that currently is here in the world, a little boy who every day thinks his mother's just sleeping and can't have closure, as well as possibly another child that may have a ton of medical issues on top of the medical bills that are being run up by the fact that she's being kept on life support without anybody making that decision. And this image becomes frighteningly accurate. She has been stripped of her autonomy even in death. And the people who are best equipped to know what she would actually want, and certainly the people who are left holding the bag, the consequences of the decisions that are made now, her family, have no say in the matter. This is not freedom. This is a dystopian nightmare, and it sets a dangerous legal precedent moving forward.
Georgia has the heartbeat bill. Kill the baby anyway. Even though we know we can keep that baby alive, kill the baby anyway. Take it out. Do something, but get rid of that baby. That's what they're saying. That bill is going up and up and up, that hospital bill. We don't care about the parents. We don't care. Well, I feel the hospital should eat that bill right there. That's what I feel. Don't put that on the parents because they decide to do that. Georgia has decided, okay, that we need to keep this woman alive so she can have her baby. We could be raising the next president. We could be saving the next neurosurgeon. We could be saving the next Elon Musk. We don't know, okay? Maybe that's what they're thinking in their mind. I'm just talking, y'all. Tell me what y'all think about everything that these people have said. Do you agree with them keeping her alive? Do you think this is what God would want? Do you think this is happening for a reason? Do you think the mother would want her child to die inside her belly? Do you think she would want them to do everything possible? Now, her mother knows her daughter now. Andriana's mother knows what she would want. But she ain't telling us. She's not telling us. But that's all right, though. I can understand. She's stressful. It's hard going in there seeing your daughter's body every day laying in that bed and she can't talk to you. It's hard. I understand. I've been through it. Now with my daughter, like I said, my grandson, so I know how it is. All right? All right, y'all. With all that being said, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And watch the next video coming up. Thank you.
Yeah.